Hello, everyone. This is Phoenix Tremaine, and today we're going to be talking about General Hospital's. Natalia is now no longer a part of the show. Eva LaRue has made her exit. Uh, on Monday's episode, she took pills and alcohol, which resulted in her passing out, which also meant that she also passed away. But I think a lot of you don't care and are pretty happy that this has happened. But I don't think it's Eva LaRue's fault. It's the writers, and we're going to get into it because not only we're going to talk about her exit, but we're going to talk about the character in general. But before we get into all that, please hit that like button and subscribe. It's free to do. It helps out the channel a lot. So thank you very much in advance if you do that for me. Also, we have a membership where you will have seen this video first because you get early access to videos in the membership. You get our lives on Fridays where we talk about all of the spoilers and have some great conversations. Being a part of membership, we love to have you. So let's go ahead and get into this because we got a lot to talk about when it comes to Eva LaRue because many of us first saw her on All My Children as Maria Santos, where she grabbed the soap fandom's heart, and we loved her as Maria, and she was on All My Children for 201 episodes. And when she left All My Children, she went to CSI Miami, where she spent 153 episodes. So whether you loved her from All My Children or CSI Miami, she is one of those actresses that really takes command and really has a lot of fans. And I was excited when she went to Young and the Restless, where she played Celeste Rosales for 17 episodes. And this got her her first Emmy win for Best Guest Performer. So she's got an Emmy. She didn't get it from any of her long running shows that she was on, but she did get it for being playing Celeste Rosales. Not sure why, because sometimes people win these you know how I feel about certain people who won certain awards. That I felt like, did they really give Celeste a whole lot to do? But she deserved it. Not necessarily for Celeste, but she deserved it for Maria. She deserved it for her other performances that I've enjoyed. And so, I looked forward to her when I was revealed she was going to join General Hospital. And she came in with a bang and with a shock because she came in, looked beautiful, and her first scene is catching her daughter with another woman. And this began the problem. So Celeste had a problem because she was very phobic about her daughter being with a woman. And this rubbed a lot of fans the wrong way. Fans that felt like she felt didn't have a problem with it. But I remember in the interview, she was saying, it'll get better, but it didn't get better. It got worse with Ava recording their conversation, releasing it. This caused Blaze not to like her mother. This caused Sonny to not like her mother, even though he tolerated her. And this is when the whole pitiful Natalia storyline began. And whereas there was sort of like a spark between her and Sonny, now she was playing damage control. And Sonny was like, you know, yeah, but I don't think you're gonna be my love interest anymore. It was like the spark left when that storyline got into high gear. And they decided to, okay, say, let's throw something else at the wall. Let's have her do something else. So then she joined Deception, where she stuck out like a sore thumb. She never really felt like part of the machine, part of the engine. Even Lulu felt more like a part of Deception than Natalia. So that was another failure that even though they tried their best to make her part of the team, it really didn't go anywhere. And then when that didn't work, the writer said, okay, let's make her Sidwell's wife, ex-wife. And that really was a surprise twist, but she never really had any good scenes with Sidwell. They never had any sort of reconnection, even through their son. And it even when she was snitching on Sonny, Sidwell got her to snitch on Sonny about needing to have, of his heart condition, and they had to have surgery. And it was like I was like, why is Natalia snitching on Sonny when he already knew because he sent somebody who followed you? So she was only telling him stuff he already knew. And I was like, do the writers really know what to do with this character? And then fans thought, okay, they got her son Marco on there, and then the actress that plays Blaze did a set visit. So people thought, hey, and I posted it too. People thought, hey, maybe they're going to have her accepting of her son. Her daughter comes back, she accepts her, and maybe we can sort of wipe the bad taste out of the mouth of the fans. But no, it never happened. She was just doing a set visit. She wasn't coming back to the show, so we didn't get Blaze return, which I didn't really care about Blaze, so um, it didn't make me no difference. But it also made no difference with the character of Natalia. Because the truth is, when it first began, she had sparks with Sonny. They had chemistry a little bit, not a lot, but they still had a little bit. They had their friendship chemistry. Maybe they could have built on that. But when the writing was on the wall, there was no more sort of like connection with Sonny that was possibly romantic. And they also dropped the ball because when it comes down to characters like Ava, Ava could have been an amazing rival to Natalia, but they just didn't go there when they should have, because Ava is great when she has a rival, whether it's Nina or, Carly. She does, Mara West does such amazing scenes when it comes to she's ready to be Alexis and let to anybody's Crystal, if you know that reference. Mara West is amazing, and she did elevate her scenes with Eva LaRue. So they could have been great rivals, but they didn't go there. They didn't go there. They didn't even go there with Christina being mad at her for, losing Blaze. So basically, every time I turned around, they were fumbling the ball with Natalia. And then it's like they threw things at the wall to see what would stick. And nothing was sticking because this happened. We're like, why so she had a prior incident with driving under the influence. Um, do they just want people to hate her? She's phobic, you know, she's drinking and driving, and she don't have no friends. Her son don't want to be around her. Sidwell just wants to threaten her. Sonny barely can be in the same room with her. And then you got ADA Turners like, look, you need to give us some information on Sonny and put him away. And it's the madness did not stop because we thought, okay, she's leaving town, which I would have been fine with. Then maybe they could have brought the character back another time or something like that, and maybe give her another chance. But no, they decided to send her to Crazy Town. Like, when did Natalia ever reach a point in her storyline where her and Sonny seemed like anything but friends? When in her storyline did it ever look like she was in love with Sonny, or Sonny was going to leave his entire life to going ahead and be with her when they haven't even kissed? So it's like, Natalia, are you just gonna go get on that crazy train and start stalking Sonny and threatening Sonny and hand the rock to cradle, fatal attraction this thing? But they didn't even go there. Instead, they made her continue to go down this downward spiral where she acted crazy at the christening and then just started, doing the pill and alcohol combination, which led to her you know, knocked out, which of course many of us assumed, it would be true that, she didn't just get knocked out, she passed away. Boom. And it was really at this moment when I was creating like the timeline for this video, so I could have my thoughts in order. And I started thinking, I think she's the female Cody. Because Cody is one of those characters where you have to ask yourself, why is he here? They threw so many different storylines and women at him until finally they said, okay, we're going to put him on reoccurring status. And they took him off contract because they just kept throwing things at the wall to see what stick and nothing stuck. And still, that's craziness with him trying to seduce Ava for Christina. Nothing is working with his character. And they also realized that nothing was working with her character, you know? And so they gave her an out, like in a more kind of out. But there was a moment that I was waiting for all of today's episode, July 1st's episode, because Marco, I wanted him to give me the feels. He got to the hospital and found out that his mother had passed away. I was like so disappointed. It was like Willow all over again. So I can't really go off all last week on Willow and no tears and not giving me the emotion I needed to be given. And I know there are people like, oh, she did such a great job. That was her Emmy. And I was like, no, no. I didn't like the performance, just like I didn't like his performance. I had a special interest in this because when my mother passed away, I got a phone call from her neighbor saying that she wasn't responsive and I should get over there. And so I went through red lights, speeded, because my mother had lived like maybe 15 minutes from me. I probably got there in 7. I was going that fast. I ran up, I got to the apartment, the door was open, it was ajar. And when I saw my mother, I, the emotions that I felt in that moment is the type of emotions I wanted to get from the actor playing Marco. And I was very unsatisfied. I felt it was very unsatisfying because I just didn't like it. I didn't think he did a good job. I know some of you will say, oh, no, the actor's playing it like he's in charge. No, I needed more. I needed more. You know, hopefully one day, I'm a writer, I'm a director, I'm a producer. I've been doing productions for like 30 years now, 33 actually. And I've gone through a lot of actors, a lot of different productions, and there's no way I would have let Kate get away with this crap that she pulled. If I was the director in that scene, um, yeah, it would have been a better scene because I wouldn't have let this fly. Just like I wouldn't have let this go if I was the director in this particular scene. Oh, he would have got his Emmy reel if it was me. But it wasn't me. And now I'm going to turn it over to you. What did you think about Natalia? Do you think the character could have been saved as far as like given better storylines and better writing? Or do you think that it was right for them to just pull the plug and just get rid of the character altogether? I'm pretty sure that Marco and Sidwell will probably blame Sonny, which will cause this war that they're going through to accelerate. And no pun intended. But maybe that will be what her character is useful for. Her demise will cause the storyline to dramatically increase. We now know, we don't know if Sidwell was behind the first fire that hurt Michael, but we definitely know Sidwell was behind the second fire that almost got, rid of Christina, which is a whole nother video in itself. Why was Christina just standing there looking at the fire? Why was Christina? And like I said, I'm gonna do a whole video on this, but Christina just standing there looking at the fire. She clearly could have smelled gasoline. It's like it's you're surrounded by gasoline. They pour gasoline everywhere. And then I'm like, well, maybe in the next episode, which is today's episode, they'll explain why she didn't just go out the back. Um, and then Marco came and saved her, even though he technically didn't have to, because she was like, let's go out the back. And I'm like, this is so stupid. Oh, why have they decided every scene that Christina in has to be the worst, the stupidest, and the most nonsense? Oh man. Because Kate Manzi, as much as I loved on Days of Our Lives, just like Cody, just like Natalia, and just like Christina, it seems as if the writers don't know what to do with these characters. And they just keep throwing stuff at the wall, seeing if it'll stick. It don't stick, and so they go and do something else. So that's it. That's it. My little rant with a little side of Christina. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next video. Once again, let me know if you think that the character could have been saved with better writing, if they should have just had her leave town and then maybe bring her back later if they got a good storyline for her, or are you perfectly fine and happy with them just pulling the plug and just ending the character point blank? Thanks for listening and thanks for watching.